For a close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football, this is Inside the Game, sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Welcome to week 2 of Inside the Game for this 2022 season. I'm your host, Keon Russell, and we are back here with the updates on football scores and highlights right here in the Concho Valley. Up first, we have the Wall Hawks taking on the Cisco Lobos. The Wall Hawks are coming off of a win on opening night against Eastland. Now shifting their attention over to Cisco Wall, hosting number 7 in 2A Division II, the Cisco Lobos. First quarter, the rain causing havoc. Muff punt by the Lobos. As you can see results here in Brylan White, the scoop and score. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him. Wall off and running, early 7-0. As you can see, we're a little early. My bad. Yes, there goes the muff punt there. As you can see, he picks the ball up, scoop and score. Like I said, early 7-0 lead for the Wall Hawks. Now off to the second quarter. Cisco responds. Trenton Huston gets the handoff, powers his way into the end zone. The extra point was no good. Wall still in front, 7-6. Still in the second now. Some miscommunications by the Hawks. The loose ball picked up by the Lobos. Trey Bracken makes a man miss, and he's gone. Just like that, Cisco in front, 12-6. The Hawks get the lead right back. Canyon McAbee gets the pitch, bounces out to the outside, and gets some blockers up the sideline. He goes and dives into the end zone. Wall back on top, 14-12. Excitement. Final 18-14. Cisco goes on to win. Wall falls, unfortunately. Now off to our game of the week for week 2. It's the Central Bobcats taking on El Paso Montwood in their season opener, their home season opener, excuse me. Let's take a look at tonight's matchup. The Central football team came up just short in their 31-24 opening loss against Colleen Shoemaker on Friday night. We look to see how the Bobcats will bounce back this week against El Paso Montwood on Friday in front of their home fans.
The TLCA Eagles snapped a 24-game losing streak with a 42-36 win on the road over Ozona in their high school football season opener. The Eagles are happy to see the work put in during this offseason translate into regular season success.
Huge for our kids. It helps our coaches out a bunch. Everything that we've been preaching for 2 years about getting better each week, doing things right, staying all summer, doing 7-on-7 weights, all that stuff finally means something. And we get to take some pride in the hard work that we put in.
Now, with winning their first game in 2 seasons and confidence at an all-time high, it is important for the Eagles to not lose focus in getting ready for Odessa Campus.
Odessa's going to be a tough opponent. We know that they're in a similar program to ours. They've been struggling to win, but but we know what that feels like, and we know what it feels like to turn it around, so we got to make sure we're taking care of business. We don't want to be satisfied, so the motivation is still going to be to continue to win and do the things that our coaching staff has been preparing these boys for, and should be a good week for us, though.
I'm very excited, very confident in our team. I just feel like there's not a team that can beat us when we're playing at our best, and that no matter what happens, that God's in control no matter what.
It was TLCA's first win since edging Grape Creek 8-6 in 2019, and it was the most points the Eagles have scored since a 42-6 win over Brunt in 2017. TLCA is looking for some of the same success come Friday night versus Compass.
I just expect our kids to keep competing. We played really well on defense, but we know we throw the ball really well. That's what we do. That's what we took advantage of this summer in 7-on-7, and that's what we're going to do. And I'm excited to see what we can do to improve this week and make it an even better week for our offense and defense.
And the Lakeview Chiefs are looking to carry some of that same success as they had in their season opener win against Lamesa. Lakeview looking to knock off Sweetwater for the first time since 1983. At the last look, this game is still going on in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs are, of course, leading 27-25. Up next, both the Mason Punchers and Brady Bulldogs are on the hunt for their first wins of the season. Last week, Mason lost in a nail-biter to Coleman, and Brady had a rough day against Comanche. As for this week, though, Mason would go on to lose 27-7, falling to 0-2 on this early 2022 season. The TLCA Eagles are riding high coming into week 2. Just last week, they snapped their 24-game losing streak and took care of business versus Ozona. Let's hear from the TLCA Eagles. The TLCA Eagles, as you can see, great defensive stop by the defensive lineman against Odessa Compass tonight, looking to go 0-2. Starting in the first quarter, Diego Franco hands the ball off to Abraham. DeVelos finds a brick wall, and TLCA wraps him up. The Cougars score first 7-0. TLCA looking for some momentum. As you can see, they still in the second quarter now. He launches the pass intended for Christian Davalos, only to find Isaiah Vaquera break this one up. The Eagles will go on to fall just short to the Eagles 7-6. Coming up after the break, we will have more highlights and we'll be joined by Sabrina live from TLCA so we can hear more on the Eagles. We'll be right back with more Inside the Game.
Buy more, save more during the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Furniture Row. Save $200 on every $1,000 you spend. That's right, our best offer is now double, plus 6 years no interest. But hurry, the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
When you've got to have crunchy tacos, it's got to be DQ. Right now, get 3 Texas T-brand tacos for just $5. We're talking zesty taco meat, lots of fresh toppings, and a crunch you can't resist. At 3 for just $5, that's a lot of for your buck. And nobody but DQ lets you top it off with your favorite treat.
DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Right now, during our once-a-year Labor Day sale, not only will you save hundreds, not only do we have 60 months interest-free financing, but you'll find hundreds of items in stock and available now. Like your choice of these stylish American-made sofas for just $4.99 for a limited time. Plus, enjoy free ice cream and soda while you shop. Hurry in while supplies last. Home Zone, Texas-born, family-owned.
It's the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress. And right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $200 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 6 years no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress ends Monday.
After a great start to the season, the Sterling City Eagles come out victorious yet again. Sabrina Hoover was able to catch the game in live action. She joins us now from Eagle Stadium. Sabrina?
Yeah, Keon, again, I'm hoping you see that I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I'm right outside Lakeview Stadium. They just shut the lights out on me. But the TLCA Eagles entered this game coming off a 42-36 win over the Ozona Lions last week, hoping to build onto that momentum heading into this game against the Odessa Compass Cougars. Well, this game was all defense, but the Cougars started out first with an Abraham Devalius touchdown to put them on the board 7-0. Now the TLCA Eagles found some momentum heading into the second quarter with a Jalen Johnson touchdown, putting them on the board 7-6, but ending up not making the extra point. But that extra point would come back to bite them as they fell to the Cougars today 7-6. Now the Eagles are 1-1 and will look to bounce back from this loss coming up next Friday, where they will face the Winter Blizzards at home. Now the Winter Blizzards are a very young team with only 3 seniors on the roster, so it'll be a good matchup. Reporting from Lakeview Stadium, I'm Sabrina Hoover. Back to you, Keon.
This live shot brought to you by Advanced Custom Windows.
Our game of the week for week 2 is the Central Bobcats taking on El Paso Montwood in their season opener. Let's take a look at tonight's matchup.
Came up just short in a 31-24 season opening loss against Colleen Shoemaker on Friday night. We look to see how the Bobcats will bounce back this week against El Paso Montwood on Friday in front of their home fans.
Just got to get better. I mean, that's the bottom line. We got to keep improving, and we got to keep doing the same things, and we just got to do them better. I mean, offense, defense, special teams, everybody, coaches, everybody. I mean, everybody's got to do their job and do a little bit better.
Consistency will be something the Cats look to expound upon in this next matchup against El Paso Montwood. After getting off to a slow start to their standards against Shoemaker, they are looking to find some rhythm often and early come Friday night.
And really and truly, there's no real big changes. I mean, we got to do the same things, and we got to do them just better. I mean, that's the bottom line. And so our kids know that, and they came out this morning with a great attitude and ready to go to work. And so, you know, I know that they're excited to play in front of a home crowd on Friday night. Our fans are fantastic and always turn out to support us, and so I know our kids are excited about that.
With last week only being a bump in the road, it is important for this Bobcat team to not hang their head and prepare for a long season. The Bobcats look to put it all in the rearview mirror and focus for the challenge at hand in El Paso Montwood.
We don't want to let last week beat us twice, and so our kids know that, and we've got to turn the page, and we got to get ready for Montwood. I mean, that's all you can do. Is you know, our goal is to win one game a week, and so now we're off to a new game, and we talked to our kids about, you know, it's a new week and we got new goals, and so our kids know that, and they came out this morning, did a good job flipping the script and getting ready for Montwood.
And the Central Bobcats are home for the first time this season against Montwood. The fans are ready. Early in the first, Tyler Hill keeps the ball on the read option play and makes defenders look silly. Hurdles one defender, runs through more arm tackles, and keeps the legs chopping all the way for the Bobcats' first down. Few plays after that, it's Tyler Hill again, the same play to the right side of the field, and he finds himself in the end zone on a quarterback run, 7-6 Rams. Moving on to the second quarter after an interception, running back Tyler Brawley takes the handoff up the middle to make the Rams lead 21-6. Next possession for the Cats now, Brawley does it again. Drags a couple defenders on his way to get his second touchdown of the day. The Cats would lead 28-20 at halftime. The Bobcats will go on to fall in this one, 52-49. Over to Grape Creek hosting Cristoval. Now the first quarter, the Cougs strike first. Manuel Rojas gets the handoff, gets some blocks ahead of him, dives into the end zone, 7-0 Cristoval. Later in the first, Josiah Johnston calls his own number, runs into the line of scrimmage. Now you see him, now you don't. But there he is for the big game for the Eagles. On to the second now, 7-3 Cougars. Cristoval goes to the air. Caden Carpenter with the reception up the sideline, he goes. Nobody's catching that young man. That makes it 14-3. Cristoval will go on to win tonight, 30-10. The Water Valley Wildcats start the season 1-0. Here's the Pied against the Pied Pipers, meaning for the first time, the Wildcats will fall short as well, 6-2, bringing them 1-1 early in this 2022 season. Miles meeting Sterling City for the first time since 2007, both teams 1-0. First quarter, the Dogs go to the air. Haven Book hooks up with Carson Ellison for the opening score of the game, 6-0 Miles. Back to the other way, Johnny Monreal takes the handoff, gets some blockers, and puts the PF Flyers. He's in for 6, 7-6 Eagles. More from the Eagles running game. This time it has Cass Johnson. He gets to the outside and nothing but grass in front of him. 14-6 Sterling City. However, Miles would come storming back in the second half in this one, erase a 21-12 deficit, and win 40-21. Here are some more updates and scores from right here in the Concho Valley. We have the Ozona trying to bounce back after week 1 loss, taking on a tough Wink team. They would go on to lose, although 36-26. Then we have the Sonora Broncos looking to have some of the same successes in week 1 against Cahoma this week. Big win here tonight, making them 2-0 on the season. They would end up on the wrong side of the scoreboard as well, losing 27-31 in a close one. Now we have the El Dorado Eagles taking on Winters Blitzers. The Eagles are coming off of a big win last week against Cristova. Gets it done here tonight as well. 12-12 now heading into the third, And finally, the Junction Eagles facing off against San Saba for the first time since 2019. They were losing this one. Stick with us. We'll be moving on to 6-man football in Erie County's big win versus Spur Bulldogs. We'll be back right after this break with more inside of the game.
It's time for our Labor Day celebration at Trend Furniture. With 5 years no interest and all furniture's in stock and ready to go. With all new accent furniture, sofas, and an exciting new lineup of mattresses. With 5 years no interest at Trend Furniture, across from Sunset Mall, 4002 Wellington.
Growing up, our daughter Macy was always in the gym around sports. When she was in high school, she was involved in cheerleading, volleyball, basketball, softball, and then her senior year, she decided to go back and do track, and she now does track at Hardin-Simmons University in Abilene. Several years ago, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and I contacted Shannon Matchmaker to find a primary care doctor. They matched me with Anna Augustin, and it was a good match. So I've been her patient for several years now, and my daughter actually goes in to see her as well, too. They did place me on blood pressure medicine, and also it did kind of change my lifestyle a little bit. I started going to the gym a little bit, working out a little bit more, and trying to watch what I eat. I would, urge people to find a primary care doctor. It definitely does make a difference when you're not just another number that they see, that they actually know you. Gives you a good feeling. It was always our first choice for medical care is to go see the doctors at Shannon.
Hey, I'm Cade. And I'm Ryan with Hill Pools and Spas. And we've been servicing West Texas since 1995. Whether you need chemicals, service repair, or installation of a new pool or spa, give us a call or visit us at the Concho Valley homepage under the Experts tab.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. Today we'll be talking about the 9th-ranked Erie County Hornets taking on the Spur Bulldogs. Like I said, the Erie County Hornets taking on the Spur Bulldogs early in the first. Trevin Kofeld hands it off to Jordan Harrison and lets him do the rest. Runs up the sideline and lowers his shoulder through defenders on to score the first touchdown of the game. Hornets lead 8-0. Still early in the first, same concept. Kofeld hands it off to Colton Landermilk, and he runs up the hashes to the left side and scores 6 for the Hornets. 16-8 Erie. Now moving on to the second. Kofeld finds it in the air to Bo Murrow in the end zone and even gives a little celebration after, saying he's too little. 30-16 Erie. The Hornets were going to win as you see Bo hit the defender here with the stutter step and backpedal into the end zone. 83-36 Hornets. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Inside the Game.
If you spent time on base at Camp Lejeune prior to 1988 and developed any of these cancers or suffered any of these injuries, you may be eligible for significant financial compensation.
Leaking underground tanks contaminated the drinking water with benzene and other highly carcinogenic chemicals.
There have been numerous reported cases of exposed personnel developing cancer and other serious health conditions. Call Camp Lejeune victims to discuss your case now.
800-858-7908.
13 years ago, Lyndon Butler took a dream and turned it into a reality by starting Butler's HVAC, a cooling and heating company. But as Henry Ford once said, if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always got, which explains Lyndon's next move now, having Butler's HVAC join together with Shane Thetford and the Unlimited Air team to create an even bigger, better, and more efficient Unlimited Air, where it's all about the service.
Welcome back to Inside the Game. I'm your host, Keon Russell, and we look ahead to some interesting matchups for Week 3. The Central Bobcats will be taking on Abilene Cooper for their first matchup since 2013. When Central won 31-28, then we moved things over to Lakeview Chiefs as they host Vernon. This will be the first time these two schools ever have faced off against each other. And next up, we have the El Dorado Eagles and Sonora battling it out for the 85th time ever for our final game of the weeks. Our game of the week for KSAN Sports, we have the Wall Hawks in a fun matchup with rival Jim Ned. But before that game, as stated earlier this week, the Hawks will be honoring Clayton Weissoon before the game. The Hawks should be ready to go and fired up for this opportunity. Thank you all for watching Inside the Game. We'll be back next week with your full recap of Week 3 in Texas high school football. Have a great weekend.
Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Catering for Inside the Game is provided by Double Dave's Pizza Works.